What if I told you that working harder might actually be making you dumber? Doesn't sound right, right? But hear me out. Your brain isn't some cyber robot that can run flat out nonstop at all time. It just doesn't work like that. But there's this little clever trick called the gap method that can flip everything we thought about productivity upside down and make you smarter. Stick with me and I'll share a 10-second secret that rewires your brain for a lot better focus and a lot more success. Hi, I'm Will D., college professor and longtime martial artist. And today we're talking about how working less can actually help you learn more. Let me tell you about Brandy. She's a marketing manager who started her week sharp as a tack, putting in 12-hour days without real breaks. But by Friday, she can't remember her clients' names and meetings. Does that sound familiar? Now, Brandy, she thought she was just tired, but her brain was actually shutting down to protect itself. That's kind of like your phone going into power saving mode, except it's your brain hitting the brakes on learning and memory. Now, here's the thing. Nobody mentions this, by the way. When you push too hard without breaks, your brain physically changes. The hippocampus, that's your memory boss of your brain. It shrinks when you're always on. It's like your brain saying, if you won't give me time to process this information, well, I'm just not going to bother to remember it. And here's where it gets even trickier. Your brain has this amazing filing system called memory consolidation. Imagine trying to organize a messy drawer while someone keeps tossing in more junk. That's what happens when you cram nonstop. Your brain's filing system gets overwhelmed and everything ends up a total mess. Then there's dopamine. That's your brain's feel-good chemical. When you're constantly working without breaks, you burn out those dopamine receptors. It's like overusing a muscle until it just won't cooperate anymore. Suddenly, things that used to feel rewarding feel like you're getting a root canal. And don't get me started on cortisol. That's the stress hormone. It's great for emergencies, but when it floods your system nonstop, it blocks new learning pathways like a stubborn traffic jam on your brain's superhighway. So here's the paradox. The harder you grind, the less your brain absorbs. It's like flooring the gas pedal with the parking brake on. Lots of effort, no real movement. Have you ever studied all night only to forget everything by morning? Look, you're not dumb or lazy. You're working against how your brain naturally learns. Your brain needs downtime to install its updates and make new info stick. Without breaks, most of what you study just gets erased like chalk on a blackboard. Now, here's the fun part. The gap method. Imagine doing nothing for 10 seconds and getting 20% better at whatever you're learning. Sounds kind of nuts, right? But it works. These aren't your typical coffee breaks or doom scrolling sessions. These are micro breaks that act like power-ups for your brain. Think of them as cheat codes backed by science. During these tiny gaps, your brain replays what you just learned at lightning speed, rewiring itself without you having to try. Researchers watched brains during simple finger exercises and found that even seconds of rest lets the brain rehearse moves just like a pro athlete warming up between plays. You see, your brain runs in cycles of about 90 to 120 minutes. These are called ultradian rhythms, basically energy waves that rise and fall throughout the day. You start warming up, hit your peak performance zone where ideas flow and problems solve themselves, then naturally wind down and need rest. But not all these breaks are equal. Scrolling Instagram, passive rest. Light stretching, walking, or simply sitting quietly letting your mind wander, active rest. This is where the magic happens because it helps memory replay while getting mentally recharged. And now here's the real secret sauce. Every few minutes during work or study, take 10 seconds to stop, breathe, and mentally replay what you just learned. It feels a little weird at first, like quitting before you start, but once you see how well it works, you're going to be hooked. People who use this method report up to 40% more productivity. That's like gaining an entire extra day every week just by working smarter with your brain's natural rhythm instead of against it. The gap method isn't about being lazy or slacking off. It's hacking your brain's design so learning feels easier and sticks better. Think of your brain like a camera that needs time to process each photo. Without pauses, all your pictures come out blurry. So here's the big question. Are you ready to change how you think about work and learning? Just try one gap method session today. Pick a task, work in 90-minute cycles with 10-second micro breaks every few minutes, then take a proper 15-minute rest. You just might surprise yourself with how focused and energized you feel. Oh, one last thing, just hit subscribe for more brain-boosting hacks that take minutes but change everything. It's an easy and free way to support us and boost your brain power along the way. Until the next time, this is Will Deek, wishing you only success. Oh, and remember, sometimes less really is more when it comes to working with your brain smartly.